Skin tone is yeah, okay. I don't want.
I've got a passion for developing people.
No, let us be.
I could have mistaken you for Elite.
Pennyville podcast with your host.
Dumelang and welcome to yet another beautiful podcast. This is our Pennyville podcast. I'm sure you're wondering where we are. We are located right now today at Ranki Park, Mosiso Street, Remostupung, in case you're wondering. Of course, I'm with my ride or dies, Kimsaka Brian Shengu Shabalala. Yes, this is Pennyville podcast with a twist, and doing it in style. We chose to do it outside, ne? And it's of course it's refreshing, it's new, it's fresh, and we're still continuing with our topics that run the streets of Phala or the streets of Tshwane or the streets of South Africa. Hey Breezy, how are you, my brother?
I'm alright. Thank you so much. I think we wanted to take it to Batwar Nagoka, singular one.
Yes.
Just have it's a nice atmosphere. Rawona di taxi dia feta di utara. It's raw, it's authentic.
Mboza Shule,
Yeah, so as TK has introduced, welcome to another episode here now with Brian Mshengu wa Sepitori Shabalala. That's the only thing you forgot.
Oh, okay,
Mshengu wa Sepitori.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm good.
Tada.
And we have a lovely guest, Phumzi, Phala. We'll explain. Actually, I'll explain why I guested today, because subject ya kajeno is something selong hore se utlwisisa ke ena ho Phala re.
Sure.
So that's why we felt hore touch a subject e re kry motho leng hore o passionate ka yona, o bereka ka yona, ke ntho a tsogang bile a robala ka yona. Phumzi, o kae fela?
Ke teng, okay.
Ke teng.
Le kae?
Risha, buena.
Sharp.
Tada. So Osaka, tell us about today's topic.
Okay, today's topic is Meima Says. We're going to talk about challenges that are experienced by the black community in particular with regard to the cultural construct of family houses. Ne? So we're going to unpack what the issues are that are causing conflicts in families. Yeah, so key topic here today.
I think as a requires before it's an topicing, at least introduce it. I will like a Phumzi.
Okay.
Phumzi ki mang, Phumzi holela kae, re background here.
Phumzi Phala, ke hola hona mo Matridgeville.
Okay.
In fact, this is a very familiar area for nna because nele tsela ya ka ya school.
Okay.
Ke ya ko Old Tony.
Oh yeah.
Mo
Because I
khona skhukhune le Themba kwale. So that's where we would pass, that's where we would walk every day. Yeah.
Oh yeah, hi guy.
Yeah, hi, ka ntlhela ko Phala street.
Oh,
Yeah.
Phala Street. Oh, that's
Yeah.
O tla re botsa hore why
Things are
le
very
Phala.
easy.
Maybe
Nka
there's a
di
history
Phala.
there. Ke strata sa
Yeah, hore sa timela.
Sure.
So re tolokele man. Ke
No.
so hopolang thata o feta mo.
He ke so se ke hopolang ku tla hona no hore bana ba tse di break ne. Rona a ke tso sometimes ne re sana hane. Wa bona ko haine. Ne ke tsamaya ke ya sekolong and then ka 11 ke boela hae.
Yeah.
Ke lo lata slice of road. Ke
O
boela
ka
hae.
le khonotso,
Yeah, ne re khonotse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was quite common, and of course mo koneng ne le shop ya bodesi. Re ka di hamba ka moteng.
Yeah.
Even today I will complain or never dika ka acha. But it's fine. Ilo tsa khale, it's fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was a familiar territory.
Yeah,
Back in our day, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Because things were very different then.
Okay.
We used to clean the school ourselves.
Yeah.
Vanava school. Yeah. I don't know if you remember or
No,
is
I
it?
do. Yeah, I remember.
Okay,
It's also
right,
back
right.
in that day as well.
No. We're almost in the same generation,
Yeah.
but it's in Tata.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Is it? Is it? Yeah, and ka winter
I don't know
carry
what happened
water,
after that,
hot water
yeah.
from home. Ka bucket. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's really more intense.
Yeah,
Because lena le ka marampa ya apartheid, le ka mohara pila
Yeah,
pila na re
lona ne le
mola
periphery.
re kreile e fokotsa nyana ne boutique e ba e qobella ya fela.
Okay.
That's it.
All
It's
right.
only ke rena
It's all
apartheid.
it's ke lena.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Now was there ka 76, so I guess.
Maro ha bolela ka vele di break ke ya gopola ne re tswa break because ne re tla ka Momboza. Funny enough
yeah.
go bolela ka Momboza. Ne re tla ka Momboza. Na for nna sephatlo sa mathomo ke se bone ka Momboza. That's why le history ya teng ne ba se debate ba re se tswa di Soweto. I'm like no man sephatlo se tlang before ba le kona.
Wena
Ke
re nne re 5-1.
Yeah, le
Yeah.
na ne le 5-1. In
Yeah.
fact, le rena 5-1 ne le teng.
Okay.
Yeah, because ne
But
re
why
le
you change
ka mo
little bit?
Brapaing. No, 5-1 was something different. But when Javan does it, 5-1 ne le like lawful. Ba ikhatile mo hare.
Yeah.
Ba itsentsha di. But Mbuza kore o tsere 5-1. I isa to the next level.
For real?
I tsentsa di chips. I come correct
Wow.
this part today.
Uh-huh.
Ke tsona nako tse. Somewhere in the
Okay.
90s I'm talking about yeah,
Gome's part se startile mo starta by the likes of Momboza.
Hey.
Those are the people ba ba thomileng go etsa sephatlo se ileng gore o ka data motho itse. Wa re montsha di auto o misa Momboza.
yeah.
And a khotsofala re se.
A bone lettuce
A bone
ela.
lettuce, di gherkins.
Yeah. And it's so funny now ba bolela ka sephatla no gore ke utlwile mo wena gore ke chicken a bolela mare go na le this thing ne re tsa raka diphatlo tse pedi ne
Yeah.
e fetsa o di tlwele mo strateng gore base o reng
But aba Holy Trinity in particular. Nane ke boditse ke NG.
guilty as charged. Yeah.
My late sister used to tell me hore bo ba ne ba tsana le bona.
Yeah.
Bosili.
Yeah,
Bosili
yeah,
shongwe.
yeah,
They would
yeah.
wait for base ne.
Yeah.
Itle. Ka mokhoboletseng. Ba beya sephatlo mola and then the bus would flatten it.
We'll flatten it with this one
Turn it to
thing,
like
yeah.
a pizza sort of
Yeah,
situation.
there's bad stories ka base tsa my list part
Is it?
seo kana go ausana chelete mo re ka spark.
As Phumzi, let's get to the topic of the day.
Okay.
Rautor jasa osi van peli af, van ostata af rauka. Arbots. Let's get to the topic. Yeah, me masays.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Topic here, I think the whole of South Africa is familiar with these challenges,
Sure.
ne? Especially the black community. So, it's a cool taba eh. I suppose ikathoma issues sa apartheid situation where again we were not allowed, well, we were prohibited by legislation from owning properties, even from living in certain areas, ne? So, I get about to tlositse ba ba kobile ko bo Bantuli di Sophia Town District 6 ko Cape Town kwa but here in this situation ya mo Pretoria so ba re tlisa mo bo di Atteridgeville you know bo Mamelodi ka these ne re di bitsang di 3-room house 4-roomed houses ne yeah ma re tsa di own wa bona e le tsa masepala
Okay.
wa bona ko re patela rent ko masepala ne re patela rent ko masepala and then structure sa teng ne le hore ne le the family typically a family would live there ne so hence go ya le re sno liberator bo thabang as it claims
I like or botabang yeah. Na re teng yana mo ho liberating.
I can feel it's a guy that she was a father.
Never stay.
All
Ya
right
botabang never stay.
Yeah.
Botabang mo kare le ho le betere thata ya.
Ne?
Bona bolela ka lettuce le ding ya. Di gherkins.
okay
Na re ditse na
all
go.
right re bela ka ajo
Bolela ka acha le palong.
Yes.
Le kibidwe.
yeah
Sure.
exactly so post 94 go bana le gore melao e change mo South Africa ne and then we you know everybody was on an equal footing we as black people we were able to own properties so now what happened is that municipalities ke ge melao e fetola now ba converter leasehold into ownership yeah so now process tsene ba di applying to implement yona taba eo ya converter leasehold to ownership gore batho ba own matlo a I think that's where in my analysis that's where things began to go wrong right ne le taba ya hore Like, who now do you appoint? Who now do you choose
So,
or ke or
in essence, you're saying, dintlo tse a Zangara di own.
before? No,
Yes.
no,
Zangara di a ba tsa rena dintlo tse. Tsona tsa di 3 room di 4 room tsa di bona mo locationeng.
no. Necessary na ne re patela rent. We were leasing. Ne ko re ne ba re file permit to occupy. Yeah.
So he motho a thoma a re ntlo ke hae ka tjeko. Motho ha thoma a re ntlo e ke yaka. O a ba ra hore ke hae ka nnete o ra hore.
Hora hore now leasehold eo ba re file di-title deeds bjano
Yeah.
ba file batho di-title deeds. Title deed era hore ntlo e bitsa ka wena o na le right of ownership.
Okay.
Kore ke ownership and wa bona ownership ke eng wa bona ka mokgwa o apereng like chain eo mo
Yes.
you own it.
Yes.
And you can do with it as you please.
Sure.
It is yours to do as with it as you please. So you have a right. Mo ka in law we call it a real right, ne? Over the property. You can sell it if you wish. O kana wa apply for bondo, like if you want to use the house as security.
Sure.
And or you can lease it or you can rent it out. We hirise ne. We hirise batho ba nne mo teng. So issue ke rights of ownership now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And specifically ga re o bolela ga di 4 room re
Yeah.
bolela ke nyaka fela re be clear the
Yeah.
discussion ke ga di 4 room le di 3 room not the inclusive
E seng tsa subsidy akere. E seng tseo. Re bolela ka tsa khale tsela original houses tsa Matrixville.
are
Yeah.
there cases where people still today have the own.
Yes. I think that process is not like it is complete. The municipality, it is ongoing.
Okay.
Yeah. So he taba engwe hape ka ownership ke hore ai taba e ai felle ko masipala. E go deeds office bano. Bana ke rona le title deed. Title deed ke ba bitsang deed of transfer. E bontshang hore the owner of this property is ABC. Yeah.
I think into important, just sorry, ke nyaka we mention it before we are too much ka mahara nthola is when you're an attorney, we know that.
Yes.
But I want you to just tell us exactly how we like a conveyance and explain it just for sake
Okay.
the viewers to know or
All right.
engage on this issue.
Okay. Yes, I am an admitted attorney, notary, and conveyancer. So an attorney is, as you would know, you do your articles, write your board exams, become admitted as an attorney.
Yeah.
Now, get similar process with conveyancing le notarial. You write exams, conveyancing exams. You write the notary public exams, and then you become admitted. Go High Court.
Okay.
Ne? Revisa High Court. Mara ka dinako tsa rena ne le Supreme Court. In fact, let me just certificate sa ka sa mathomo ba scratchitse Supreme ela ba type high.
Okay.
You know, like yeah, because that was the time when it was the name of the court was changing. Yeah.
So they
So
couldn't just reproduce a use the
wait, imagine of 3 million table.
That's the details of.
No, ka typewriter and then ba type high. Mo Supreme Court ba type high. So it's like ngare ke sa
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Hong Kong sort of, but no, it's real. So then you become admitted at the High Court as an attorney, notary, conveyancer. Koro conveyancer ke an attorney who specializes in property issues.
Okay.
Ne? You can register properties good deeds office. Hona le development, you can open sectional title registers,
Okay.
township registers, register the general plan, obereka hape le masipala for conditions of title, the permissions, the zoning and things like that.
Sure.
Yeah. So conveyancer ke lawyer e berekang in that space ya property. Yeah. Notary ena ke another lawyer o bereka ka typically the antenuptial contracts, ne? The prenups, in other words. Le go register the servitudes, le other type of contracts, but it's notarial contracts.
Okay.
Yeah, but the most common one ke antenuptial contract, which is the one that will be relevant for this discussion.
Phumzi, I know that you run workshops. And the workshops are how they circulate around the subject property law and.
Yes.
But particularly, I want us to, maybe let's talk about what made you go into those workshops. gore exactly sola o etsang di-workshop tse, what pushed you to do that?
What pushed me to do that is the problems that I see on the ground.
Such as?
To realize that people do not have adequate knowledge about how to transact properly in the property space.
Yeah.
Ne? Such as, kore motho o tla o makatsa ne? A re o rekile ntlo. A re ena le morekisi wa hae ba signile affidavit ko police station, and then ha fetsa mo fa tšhelete, and then sometimes motho a tshaba ke re.
So Phumzi, are you saying ho na le batho ba rekisitseng dintlo mo lekeisheneng? Lona le lapeng?
Yes.
Ko police station?
Yes.
Ka affidavit?
Yes. And go ya ka bona like
So mara,
ke
ke
pheto
Ke
ke tu.
process e fedile.
Yeah, this office ya bone honoko.
Ke ntho ke yo usa because you don't actually have title deed. So by fetsa bang gore
That's the thing. Utla Brian, people don't actually know how you're supposed to have a title deed. There's that lack of understanding for a title deed ki document e beyang. What does it look like? How do you make sure what it's or the original one? You know, le gona gore he timetse, what do you do? Yeah, le gona hape gore go to confirm gore motho o rekisetsang ntlo, is that person the owner? What is the process? You know, gore batho ba itse gore go na le deeds office where you can confirm the accuracy of that
And it's sad,
information.
and in the defense, I mean, it always comes back to lack of education in anything. I want to see it. And that's why re nyako tsena mo some of the cases it's so detailed le tsona. Maybe lo ka re topela nyana fela re botsa di case nyana tse leng gore batho ba letse dintlo ba sa itse tshwana le tsona dilo tse tshwana le gore ba feletse kae go le sona.
Okay. Ke thome kae? It's like issues tsa the typical issues will be the issues tsa manyalo, le the issues tsa di will. In law we say we call that succession. When a person dies, I get it, the law of succession now deals with that. Ne? So either motho a ka tlhokofala a tlohetse will, ba bitsa testate succession, and then or a tlhokofala a sena will, ba bitsa intestate succession.
And ke mathata mo ke shone.
Ke mathata le ka di will ke mathata.
Is it?
Yeah, ke mathata because I get a will ke thato ya motho.
Yeah.
Will ke thato ya motho, maybe it's not aligned le thato ya hao.
Tato ya batho bao ba
Yeah.
setseng, yeah.
You
So
know?
go ha ka decide gore ntlo ke na le bana ba 5.
Yeah.
Mare ke nyaka gore last born
Yes.
e be yena.
Yes.
That's where you get that word ya Mema says.
Yes.
Ko teng.
Yes.
Ira mathata la reng.
Ira mathata because koko o tla re o na le mabaka a ga ke rileng.
Yeah.
O tla re in terms of my will, thato ya pelo ya ka. Ke batla gore after ke tlhokofala go nne so. Mara thato ya pelo ya hae maybe a align le thato ya bana ba hae. Wa bona? But the authority ke thato ya koko. Because I get o deal with estate ya hae as the law allows her to do that.
Maro wa ba blame mo Phumzi because ke butsa go na le bana ba bang ka mo jareteng. O patela rent. Ke ena tlhokometseng koko. Ne? Ke ena mo sleeping sa rent wa tseya o tlhokomela koko. Koko decide gore no. Nna ke tlo re last born because ke ena nkatileng. Ntlo e ke fila hore ke fe yena.
Okay.
O ka mo blame koko ha irile ntho e tshwanang le eo sometimes.
No, o ka se mo blame because ena kere o practical. O apply logic e make sense. Or for an element practical for that situation.
Because wa bona motho ke ena tlo tlhokomela lapa le ke nna ke sno tsamaya.
Exactly. And baba maybe ba sharp ko ba leng ko
Ba sharp ke ntho ke ya go bolela ngol because in some cases as o fetso e tlhalosa maybe o wa patela.
Yeah.
Mara go lebeletse o salo monyane or something whatever for whatever reason. He nka sengwa le yena ke ena ba tlo montsha.
Oh yeah.
Ke ena tlo tekranga lo ko stra I may be wrong.
Those are the considerations, Brian. It is like that sometimes.
So it's a very difficult subject to have. That's why
Insensitive.
yeah.
Mara nna ke nya gore ke go butsa Phumzi Brian. Wa itse go high o korokrali 5 le 6.
Yeah.
Go tshwantsa decide bjang. A ire bjang he gore all right fine. Ntlo e wa khona lo re nkare e rekiseng le sharing cheleta teng.
O khona hale.
Ya khona lo re ka ira la.
O khona hale.
Or kare ke fa o mar e santsene e le ka mo high for bo botle.
Yes, o khona hale.
Oh okay.
Yeah, o khona hale.
Yeah.
And where do I do that? Ke etsa ko kae ntho?
kore ka molao ne, there are different tools that one can use to deal with situations. That's why I do these workshops to inform people, to make them aware of what the options are. Ne? Like when issues ya go register a trust.
Okay.
Wait to trust a separate legal entity that can own property because a company a separate legal entity. So let trust it the same way. So kana ware bana in the beneficiaries of the trust in yona e ownang ntlo. Wabona? That can be one of the tools.
Okay.
I think
that
it
can
must
be
be,
used.
it must be, I mean, words like that for about homologation, and I said out of respect because obviously Renale history, illiteracy and all these challenges and what. So would you say maybe about these words, but no, trust is something that has to do with people who are well off. I shouldn't even be thinking that trust. Do you get situations where people maybe are intimidated about the words as such,
Sure.
and not thinking, or maybe this is not something that
And on top of that, little lawyer, or maybe if I call it a lawyer, abaturi na batho bao go kukra na go mmotsa ka lawyer le trust yo ngwana ke a yo mbotsa ntho ngwe ke mpalla na ke na le tšhelete eo.
and about what something very becomes even besides challenge, but go to us it becomes something say longer about feel or no. I don't wanna
No, Jovial. Okay, yes, obviously we know it's a bit costly. Attorneys do charge. Mara hona le other options. Hona le pro bono. Ukana waya to apply for pro bono or lawyer mahala.
Sure.
Not hore ke mahala, I know pateliwa somewhere, but then when you don't have to pay, right? And like it's important Tabang Horbatu should be aware so that they can make informed decisions about life, because these are issues that affect these are key issues in life, you know.
but would you say it's easier said than done in terms of they should be informed, but
It is easier.
find situations or the majority of our people are not informed?
Yeah, it is easier than done because this we call it a legal maxim, but it's basically a principle, a legal principle that says ignorance of the law is no excuse.
That is so sad.
Or ignorance of the law excuses no one. Meaning you cannot claim that you did not know about the law and then escape the consequences of it. So no
course,
one
I
is.
guess
You can't.
Mara in practical reality.
They say o se tsebe gore a o tsebe ke kotsi.
Ke kotsi.
Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
Mara in reality,
Yeah.
ke maizim dilo tse tsotlhe tsa molao, ke ra, especially when I talk about the general population.
Exactly.
It's
So-
so sad. Ena ngwana o monyane, because a ke re bolela go ena ngwana o monyane wa koko. A itse ntho e. And sometimes misinformation e go rotsa ma utlweletse mo strateng. Especially coming to come kobolela gore nako ngwe tshaba lawyer, because o nagana fela ape batho o nagana o na lawyer e bula fela molomo. Ke ka mokgwa e nagana. So already you're just thinking o utlwelela ola o botsa reng. Ola o botsa until o le ka mara situation.
Okay.
O kgona le gore o mo mathateng.
And then kono sa mandi di katleng tsa.
Le nako o sa emaela mare maybe agis I guess mo feletsang o tlile di workshop tsa hao
Yes.
where you can get information,
Yes.
but sometimes it's too late,
Yeah, sometimes. But you know,
or is there always a solution?
there's always a solution. There's always a remedy of some sort. Even though sometimes you may have to go to court. Ne? But as we know, it's better to be equipped with information and act accordingly and make informed decisions, rather suffer the ramifications of just acting recklessly.
Phumzi, people don't know that what actually prompted us to actually do this interview was there's stories that you told off camera. The stories tse o kopana le tsona mo makeisheneng go ntse tsama o thusa batho. And obviously we were here because we want us to share those stories
Yes.
with people gore go na le ditori tse so tse di tsalang mo lekeisheneng.
Yeah.
And sometimes people think gore bona ba iwane mathata ao ke ena fela a faceang go jareteng a le iwane, not knowing gore actually these problems di tletse lekeisheneng le kaofela. And I want us to share those problems tse di leng teng around here.
And I'm looking at Mboza there.
Yeah.
Maybe he can. I am a.
E tla kwano, boss.
Eh.
Ona le story
Ona
nyana
le
fela.
story.
Yeah.
Ona le understanding
Mara-
nyana, which
Yeah,
is
Understanding
nice.
nyana.
se re tsamaya re ditopa re utlwe gore batho ba jala dintlo bana ba batho ba felelwa ke dintlo.
Do you mind get like go nuts a bit?
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, re tla utlwa second.
And get a tlhalosetse
O tla bua le
something, you know, like,
o re botsa
Yeah.
hanyane.
you know, le hinta.
Sure.
Tlhalosetse so like
Sure. No.
hinta.
No. It's
Hanyane,
fine.
hanyane.
Yeah.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. It's okay.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Grootman.
A o sa ka tsa go ditori?
Ke tse dintši man. Ke tse dintši.
Kopanyana one nyana fela.
Okay. Tse dingwe ke a ke re boletse ka ignorance of the law, ne? Lack of information. Mo gongwe actually, I say lack of information. Ke people who are well informed, but then they abuse the law and abuse situation. Ba abuse the fact that ba bang they're not well
they're not
informed.
well informed.
Yeah. So and then honali issues habits are corruption. It's a fraud. So as a story says it's one and dia fapana, you know. And it's anyway ke ka mokgwa ke mentioning lack of understanding of the processes, the proper processes to conclude a valid transaction ya property. Wa bona? Mo e leng gore wena o nagana re e rekile ntlo e. Kante ntlo a ya registeriwa ku dis office kwale. Ka gore ke mo tshwantse felle mo teng a kere. Gore kry title deed tshwantse itse hona ku dis office kwale. Mara wena o entse fela taba ya mo strateng. O nagana wena ka kitso ya hao gore ke ka mokgo tshwantse dilo tshwantse di etseng ka teng.
I've also
Kante ha o
had
bea.
this situation where even motho a rekisang ntlo is not the rightful owner ya ntlo.
Yes.
But
Exactly.
yet, tšhelete
There
change
you go.
matsogo. Somebody sitting
There you go.
ka ntlo mare o rekile a ke itse bjang. So
Yeah.
le tsona tseo di issue,
Yeah.
you have people ba tlang mo lena ba ipalela ntho e bjao.
Exactly. Maybe batho ba tla ka di assumptions gore oh just because motho o nna mo ntlong ela it means ke a hae. Ka mo khobolelang kante ha o beao. O reka ntlo mo motho o mo wrong. So basically it's not a valid transaction ebile. And I kana go your hard earned money ile.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or batho they know the processes. So they will do these transactions ka bomu. Sell the house to this person, do the similar transaction to this one and that one and that one.
So motho a ka rekisa ntlo e 1 to 5 people.
Yeah, it does happen.
Now, off camera, you once spoke to us about Bomakoti. Can you just bring that story in?
It's quite an
Yeah.
interesting
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
Okay, from different angles, ne? Itla nna then ho tsena issue ya manyalo. Manyalo are governed by legislation, by law. Yes, ke a spiritual union, but also you know there are legal ramifications. Ke bolela ka manyalo a community of property.
Sure.
E le gore batho sometimes a ba tlhaloganye gore community of property ke community of profit, community of loss ke joint estate taba e, ne? And then hape go na le out of community of property ke tsene ke bolela ka tsona gopola ke re then you can do an anti-nuptial contract ka a notary public, ne?
Yeah.
Now ka community of property manyalo ke tse situation e bjang ya gore situation ke family house, ne? Ke family house so
Pele o kana usa rena ha rena ke ka mohetso ke nyetse mosadi TJ ke ngwanetso go na le ba bang ke nyetse mosadi ke nna le ena ka mohetso and then na ke tlhokofala re tsemo
mara so ke ngwane heno, ne?
ya ke nyetse community of property ke a tlhokofala
Yeah,
ke shia mosadi ka mohetso
yeah. A re itse ko morago hanyane hape gore ko wena fela no bereka,
Yeah.
ne? So ko wena o patelang rente and then he masipala e fa di title deed ya ntsha title deed ka lebitso la hao, ne? E le gore le dumellane le bo TK as ngwana heno le dumellane gore okay ntlo e ke family house ke a rona ba botle, ne? Le ntse le gore title deed e tswile ka lebitso la hao, so e tswile ka lebitso la hao wena wa sala o nyala ne. So mosadi o mo nyetseng automatically by operation of law ne ke a half share owner ya that property. Ke gore wena le mosadi ya hao le owner jointly. Now and wa tlhokofala ne. Now mosadi a ke sentse na le share ya hae anyway. So share ya hao go sa etsa will ne go sa etsa will ebe e ya kwena a feletsa ile gore ke ena owner property ka botlalo 100% of it. And then a ke re monna ha o tlhokofetse maybe no we batlela monna mong hape or maybe nentsa sa right anyway are ya a buta ha a teng mone o tla protecta ke ma so etswa yeah.
And hore ke nyaka a ke re bana ke nyaka re botsa question tse le ra arabe re nahanne batho di questions tse ba ka di botsisang tsona more than what we know.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned something very important no or own a half and then you end up own the full house. Just break it down how that happens.
Okay, ka a ke re o own half ka bakala lenyalo la community of property.
Yeah.
Ne?
Yeah.
So ke half ya hae.
Yeah.
So as monna gae ge wena o tlhokofala.
Yeah.
Re dila ka half ya hao e seng ya hae.
Yeah.
Re dila ka half ya hao e re bitsang estate ya hao.
Yeah.
Ne? So if maybe nonally a will ring maybe wa move half ya hao then itla nna by virtue of like itla nna estate ya hao re tla administer in terms of the will. Now if hauna a will itla estate ya hao re tla administer in terms of the laws of interstate succession ne which ka scenario e re bolelang ka yona itla nna hore estate ya hao itla ya kwena go kera go mosadi wa bona. So wa bona hore e khosa mathata ka mo TK we ka di laws tsa interstate succession ka mo TK we ka hore title deed pila era horeng ka ra ke re nona le tumelano ya hore ke family house. Now
But ke family house mara
ke tla hona mo TK. The unfortunate thing is that family house as a legal terminology ke a cultural construct. E tla ke re ena re utlisisang hore era hore
so are re tlhalosa gore rena mo daki ka mo makisheneng re family house ne re raeng pila
amalilina le kana la araba mo because we know
tlhalosa
ra ke go bore
marga go tlhalisa as taba ya law ke taba ya culture.
Okay.
Yeah, wa ke taba ya culture ke hore ke go hetso ke goletse ka mo and obviously that it's much more than the actual property itself. There are other issues, memories, your whole life. He no tlhomamisiwa isala ba weletsa party mo la ge no nyala ge maso cultural functions gona mo you know, more with brothers and sisters, cousins. May Masays, yeah. You know, and also Kishia community habe. Sorry about that. Kishia the community as well.
Sure.
This is where you found your identity as who you are, beyond the boundaries of this property, but as a member of this community.
But the thing is, community I can when the law says what it says.
That is the unfortunate part.
And you don't have a will.
Wait, Brian. Nara bone instances tse di me bra. Bantse motho ka mo charte. Whether on take mang mara na re holetse re itse ka bona ke go bo Brian.
Yeah.
Ba marauter ba re ntole ba irekile ba lentsha Brian ba lentsha ka chofa ba tsadi letsana ba letlela go ntle go strateng. Hefetsa Brian ba mmatsa no lata community.
Lentsha ke mang?
No, somebody rekile ntlo.
Oh, okay.
O rekile ba he.
Yeah.
And community when you seek help a ona tšhelete lawyer and wa bona ka nnete legally ntlo ba irekile le wena wa bona ka nnete ntlo ba irekile mara a o nya ke le wena o haneletse ka moteng so hantse o itse nna re bona batho ba irang ba lata di community leaders ba lata mekgatlho ba tla ba re protecting or brightness ka tswa ka ya khona la ntho so I've seen that happen where people,
and then what would be the outcome?
Well, sometimes but ba khona who push out to the buyer gcina ngala a gcina ngala rawe it's king le nna ke rekisa motho mong a ntse a itse o sokola motho
E na le mathata.
e na le mathata community e tlotla ya protecta brain you understand but sometimes what succeed because of community e tlatla hawani ya tla la bitira ba sa ditsela yeah lo eno gcina o nyaka mkhukhu wa hawa tlhoma dako ko se ahlala wa ngala ntwela kweno ya jiwa somara ba rekisi
Yeah. E le hore rekisitse ke mang in the first place.
well o tlo kry the instance tsabo tsona tsabo either ke makoti
Yeah.
o e rekiseditse somebody
Okay.
a ke bona re hwalwa ka montlong
Yeah.
makoti a decide gore wetse keng ka re hwalwa ka
Yeah.
e re nna ke nyako tsena ka mara ntlutse ka mara mathata a e re ke rekise ntlo
A sa consulta motho.
a consulta mo wa e bia on se la ke rona le right
Yeah, no exercise the rights tsa hae. The legal rights tsa hae. Yeah.
why rekisa ntlo ela chiki brain go tsena batho ka mo ba reki di sheriff gore no brain tswaya ntlo e rekisitswe le na itse ngona batho bra ona ne ke sa itse ke ka moetso ka
Yeah.
ba botsa ba re ntlo e rekisitswe batho ba so a itse
Yeah.
it happens a lot mollegation with
Yeah.
too much
That's why now, like I would say, ki issue ya our culture versus issue ya molao. Yeah.
Sure.
Ka mokgwa ke bonang, this thing ya ownership ne, e erodile erode culture ya rena. Yeah. Because culture ya rena ke ya tirisano.
Yeah.
Tirisano mmogo.
Yeah.
Le lerato,
Yeah.
le compassion.
sure
Yeah. So ntho tse etsahalang hona no tse tsa di sheriff di eng it's not something that we are really it's not part of who we are. It's not part of our fabric, cultural fabric per se. So ka mo ke di rights tsa ownership tse motho a kgonang go di enforce ko court wa bona. So ke yona taba eo ya hore molao as it is as a molao wa rona we didn't craft this legislation.
I see that Phumzi is also very passionate about the humanity aspect.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
I wonder, how do you deal with cases more moto by law moto,
Yeah.
and then they're trying to cling on you for help.
I think the
somehow,
issue of-
and maybe if you've had such experiences, not
The law is not, according to me, I would say, yes, the law carries weight because it can be enforceable. But I think we, as a community, as black people, we need to enforce our cultural practices, irrespective of what the law says. There are circumstances where that is relevant, where you can say, no, as a family, let's talk this through.
sure
Ara godisiwa bjang?
So have you had cases where you felt
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
mediated over families and then you got a positive outcome?
Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's not. I think it depends on.
You've had the positive ones.
Yes.
Well, where's the
Yeah.
Oh, naribona, but after your intervention,
Yeah.
somehow mutausa pele ba utlwisisa ba level or mara ska etsa so.
Yeah.
A re tlohele man.
Yeah, because you know what, Brian? I think mo ho na leng miscommunication ke mo ho na le mathata.
sure
Yeah. So mo batho ba khona ho bolela.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just interrogate this thing, really hear
Yeah.
each other out
Sure,
and come to some sort of solution. I think that is the preferred outcome, that can satisfy everybody, all members of the family. It's in this thing, yeah, the court or
do you have lawyers baba pushing sometimes? Because sometimes I'm not saying you do it, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
we should not do lawyer tse di batlang di save tse gore di etsagale. Because so that they make money. If that
Yeah.
transaction doesn't take place,
Yeah.
I'm sure some lawyers don't make money. Am I wrong?
Yeah, well, I get it. The thing about law is that you represent your client.
Yes.
And you represent the best interest of your client. Yeah. This it starts from there.
Yeah. I think there's no.
So if client atla a re ke re rekisa ntlo ya ke na taba le Brian.
Also, I
ke bolaile motho mara ke nyaka wa tronkong and I'm paying you and your lawyer. So I kind of quite understand what you mean by that. And I think he nentse re toucha subject e yona ya dintlo. Ne gona le also the issue tsa the tenant tse di grandly entangled ka mahara di situation. Tenant o signile lease agreement le motho moro. Go ya loela.
Yeah.
Yena na sa itse. These situations do you come across them as well?
Yeah, di teng.
Bo
Yeah.
malume ba isevene ba tla kolota rente bo botlhe ko poleke e one. Yeah.
Or ba bang ebile ba botsa le motho gore ba tsentse batho ka mola.
Yeah.
Batho ba le ba tsene. Gona ba le tshwantse ba evictiwe because the rightful owner
Yeah.
or even if it's the rightful owner bona ba thomolwa ka bo bona.
Yeah. Go na le situation cases so where nele mme one na kreile chelete from Raf. Ne nkile bana le accident so she got money and bought herself a house. And then anyala in community of property so ntlo ke ya gae le ya monna.
Okay.
So a tlhokofala. So monna a tsamaya. So family ya mme o bona ba tlisa di tenants ka mo. Basically they were bullying this guy hore a tsamaye. Wa bona? Yeah. Ignoring the rights tsa hae. Yeah. So ba tlisa batho mo, ke bona now who are ruling there now. So it becomes difficult now to sort of and ka mokhoboletseng. The tenants is on a sign a lease agreement without even confirming who owns the property. Right? So the tenants are there, they're paying the rent. According to them, they're fulfilling their obligations in terms of the lease. So now, hotla mirusu now, moto are, no, actually, ntlu e asiaba toba. It puts tenants in a predicament.
But do tenants have a leg to stand on legally? In terms of, yes, but say any contract they sign tomorrow. Is there a way that the law?
Mara ba sign lo sign di contract mo location mara Brian.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah, the things guy
and it's on us a proper contract that you can download off the internet.
All right, sure.
So you ask yourself, okay, almost any city. Now, what happens to that tenant?
First of all, it's just a technical thing that I'm addressing now.
Yeah.
A contract, it can be a written contract and an oral contract.
Okay.
So le ka dumelana fela ka puo gore o tlo dula mo o tla patela bokana ke a contract.
Sure.
It's a valid contract. So now, but obviously in a lady loopholes because I address other situations like breach and things like that. Now, ke taba ya hore I wanted to raise this point ya hore in law you cannot give what you don't have.
Sure.
You cannot give rights that you don't have.
Sure.
Yeah, so that would be an invalid contract because you don't have rights to enter into that lease agreement because, I mean, you don't own. Then I can lease, you can go about leasing any. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's this scenario. This is a wild scenario that I'm just thinking of.
Yeah.
Ke nna ke tike le bana ba borena re lwela ntlo ko di license re lwela wena o tshwere case ya re ko di license re be re tlhokofale be re fela what happens with situations se bjao go etsalang ka ntlo
Be le tlhokofale le fele ba bone.
re felelle o felelle
Yeah.
bo botlhe ditlolo kore go ska ba le yeah, I know largely Ronaldo large family, but you find those people who are say family holo bjao bo abuti bo mang ene ba ntši ba setse ba tlhokofetse so tsalang
Okay. Mara o ne motho ka mo ntlong.
ga o ne motho ya
All right.
so no setse nna o malase le nna ge ke setse re ntse re lokisa process ke tlhokofale
Ha ona bana, ha ona bana.
ke na bana ke na se
Go kgonahala, ha o sa le motho lo i-one.
I think it's a wild
Yeah.
ntho but you know
All
there
right.
are always those sort of cases I'm
Okay.
just wondering what happens Olivia
All right. Hole bjao ke then e tla ya go back to the state. Ne? Yeah. So where there's an estate and there are no heirs or people who can inherit, and formula yotle we exhaustile, ona the nearest next of kin. Then ke mo to the state. Ke mo, you know these 419 letters that we. These 419
scams o kry ba re o chabalala ba re o na le and it's such huge amounts ba re ya re kgone go kry chabalala
Yeah, these are from those sort of scenarios. Yeah. O kry gore ba re ke barrister mamang your surname is the same surname as my client. I bolele surname ya ke eng ka nako. Your surname is the same surname as my client. You are the nearest relative. This is what you're entitled to inherit. And when you enter into that 419 scam.
Oh, so sometimes actual estates is
Yeah, that does happen. That does happen. It's very rare, but it does happen. Yeah.
Bulo guy, mboza guy. Lita mboza zwakala iso. Mboza re fefela one of the scenarios tse ke le ra kopana le tsona mo gae ne because ke batla Buda just musupeletse mic fela quickly.
Okay,
Buda ke nya go re tolokele mechomi gore wena di scenario tse ke le kopana le tsona tsa topic e re tshwereng ya Mema Says ke se senyana
just tell a fella of it.
sure
And about Yaga.
ba o nyaka ka mora o tla
ke le botsore ke busy
sorry
my hands off
sorry mechomi
La bona rob yang ya mo. Sala di lo etsa. Ona ba nka dumedisa mo.
e tshwantse no tswa
sure
ya lingitsi ka mboza ke
sure
Robert Masoka hona le issue tse ntši a ke re na ba sotho ang ke re da will and testament so ba mo hae ke need gore a o sika mo tshwantse o voice auto maybe o ka thusa batho go ira di will because the family home hona bana di bana le dispute because of hona di will a get
sure
no mollo mong wa the be ya gore ke ena because of ba bang ba contribute ka mo ha ya get
sure
ke re motho a bereka ke breadwinner mara o feel gore yena he's got a weight over anybody ka mo ha it's not always the case yeah so direng tshwantse ba address something dintlo tse ba di inheritileng in most cases wa bona a sa bana le direng ela ya gore ntlo heli ya ka mo hae because of ke nna ke tsantsan le tso hora gore ke yaka no it doesn't work like that
sure
tshwantse go bane le dipampiri tsa masepala tse leng gore lebitso la la Pierre mo leng gore wena wa ngwadisa and then le motho o le gore oversee that particular house or registering a bolele o kono register ke masepala gore ne a ke tlhokofala bona le motho mo so a to take over this property
sure
go sa bana le di dispute because of the dispute tse di cause gore malapa a ba bontshane that is why ho feletsa go bana le di dispute o tlho e ka robala ba banyane ba le ba sala ba bana le go itirela boithatelo ba bona ke bona bothata bo re tlhaelela mo Phelenda mo dintlong tse leng gore di a re feta le re bo wotlhe
Especially because if you know buletse when re tshwaranyana o buletse ka ditlogolo.
ya
O touchitse thata mo ditlogolong. Lo ka re fa fela
ditlo tse di a re feta tsa mo Oostata ke la bona re mo Oostata di a re feta
Ele di a re feta.
taba tse tsa gore o tla o re wena o nna ntlo ya mo Oostata ya o feta
Yeah.
tshwantse o nyakisise o te kry pele o le ngwana gore o bane le ntlo ya mo Oostata o itse gore before nagana go e rekisa o tshwantse o consult ko masters
Mara re tsa mo stata ke re a o re tsotlho na le tse ding ke di new house.
tanki
Ka mo kone
ke ra ntlo ya Oostata
Oostata.
ke bolela ka ntlo ya
O ke nyaka
Oostata
ke re batho ba tlhalwane.
Yeah.
Sa kara mothanze ka montlo ya new are maybe ba ra le re.
a se-
Bolela thata tse ne tsa mo.
new house ke tsa provincial me di tswa ka TPA yeah ke tsona tse di lweliwang it's very rare ka kra ntlo Transvaal Provincial Administration lo ena o itse wa bona gore go bona so ke tsona ntho le ngore di a re feta di feta le ba bang hape ba ba holo more are di gram gore di tlolo re tlolo ana tlolo baba wa bona so addressing issue e ba consult go di masters di family ba na le di dispute and then through the help ya di ya ausika mo ba itse Conveyancer profession again she's a professional lo kono ba thusi then I think I've said the mouthful
Sure,
na ke
sure,
tshwere
Buda.
ke tla
Samo jama seconds
Thanks for
ke na le
So bula pila tshwantse a o join go di workshop ong kwa a re fe lentsunyana le le shaponyana
And o bolela pele ena a re will and testament. We bolela pele. Yes.
But you know, because of we don't have so much time, but I'm sure there's a lot just on this topic.
Yes.
We just need 3 more days just to do this topic.
True.
When are you having your next workshops? Where do you have them? How do people get in contact with you?
Okay. I can give out my email address, phumzile@lawandlife.co.za.
Sure.
phumzile@lawandlife.co.za. Yeah. And also Instagram, Law and Life ZA.
Okay.
Law and Life
I
ZA.
think we'll
Sure.
Always when I hurry close off on a lighter note.
Yeah.
Phumzile, just brief background. I heard Cape Town in Slovakia.
Yeah.
Why Cape Town?
Okay, Cape Town ke go kitseneng sekolo ko teng tertiary University of Cape Town. Mara bona o jikile o pitsa Phumzile bana.
Oh yeah.
Motho jwile ana mthambitsa Phumzile. Oh, just because get the email address Phumzile what?
Oh, ona go tletse ke re Phumi.
Yeah, Phumzile.
Ke re Phumzile, ke sa re Phumzile. Wow.
Yes. Phumzile is for ke bakatani.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Akinya go ba mokatani.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Ko University of Cape Town.
Okay.
And I did my articles there. I worked there. I've got about 25 years of my life was in Cape Town.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then you decided to come. But were you always doing these kind of things like Kantlela or? I mean, not to say Conveyancer, I get it.
Yeah.
And Notary Public.
Yes. But not got the scale.
Not got the
Yeah,
scale.
involving the community.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But this is really my passion. It's what I love doing. I love engaging with people. Yeah.
Go na le nonyane nsebetseng hore ha o rate that fela go na le something to do le singing
No.
poetry something
artistic
somewhere
Yeah, that's my passion.
yeah.
But not singing.
Oh, okay.
No, you don't want to. It will be a crime. Songwriting.
Songwriting.
Yeah. The creative aspect is songwriting and composing. And a little bit of poetry. There will be a children's book coming out not too long from now. That's where I'm at.
And the music, where do you find your music? Who's singing it since you're not singing it?
Yeah. Where do I find the
your music?
inspiration?
Your music. Are the songs that you've written and they are being sung by someone somewhere?
Soon.
Okay,
Watch this space.
Yeah. And any specific genre or?
With me, my creative process, it's not as a genre per se. It's just I will be inspired to, have a certain melody and lyrics, but things that are typically what are important to me or what I'm passionate about, and then I write the song. And then decide or genre thing.
Would you say it's something that caught up with you? Maybe can turn from Khala or part of your rediscovery journey or something.
I think sometimes you don't acknowledge how much lifestyle or how you grew up, how much that influences how you turn out. I mean you grew up here, we grew up here. And Pelike in a very rich culture of music. And I grew up in a household where music was always played. Ray Charles, Miriam Makeba, before Rizzo Abdullah Ibrahim, Dollar Brand, those sort of like different genres. So Bob Marley, Bo Richard Lederman, so get those influences. And Kuskolo now was always in the choir, even though I don't claim to sing. Maybe Neril Vale Baba Tlalele Zambal,
like me.
So, no Tlalele. Yeah. Ne? Oh yeah. Okay. All right. Or no Tlalele Zafela Bukhare. Okay. No, but sometimes you don't realize how much that has an influence in your understanding of composing music.
Yeah.
And also, oh yes, so I go hire le piano from age 7. This nearly the first time I see this thing that I later got to understand is a piano. I remember have I follow sa kolori nale engineer nanorki kissed. And then that sort of made a sound now.
Yeah. So there was someone playing the piano.
Yeah, we were doing lessons at that time.
Oh, okay. So
But teaching ourselves, by the way,
yourself?
from a book.
Wow.
Yeah.
From a book, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I went for fun, I put this up. And do you still go out? Musical events? Anything
Of course,
interesting
absolutely.
For you outside, is it?
No,
Yeah.
no,
When was the
absolutely.
last time?
Kitswile for
Yeah,
what?
for like an event in your music.
Not okay. I was supposed to go to Eyamaloba. I didn't go.
Which one?
Uh,
USTV?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
But no, I do that often, even outside of the country.
Yeah.
Cape Town, still frequenting the jazz festival there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But music is my heart.
You love traveling as well.
I love traveling as well. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I don't know if
It's an
TK wants to
education.
It was
ask you
good. No, it was
still
good.
more.
It was good.
It was good or offensive?
No, I wanted. I'm not done, but I just, now I appreciate one
kidding.
Yeah.
helping one another.
Okay.
Yeah.
For batho ba ska nahana hore, Phumzi o tla a le kae. These are also fun players.
Of course.
Wa bona?
Yeah.
And ke nyaka benong ke nyaka re ba phupela hore o le pheli ka nnete.
Okay.
Ne?
Yeah.
So
Coming.
a re bona hore ka
I
nnete.
knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
A re ke hore o le pheli ka nnete na.
Okay.
Ne?
I might be rusty, mo home.
Yeah. To go with 2 questions. No, a few, ne? Ha ba re ko Tambo. Na ba ra ko go jaifiwang or ko nearly hardware or ko Tambo nearly crutch.
I think okay.
Ko jaifiwang.
I
Hona-
think I'll keep down all the time.
No.
Can I leave this slave? What's up like a Kori?
Tambo. Ka re tla ya ko Tambo.
What the agits go ka little leave but go everyone, I guess.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. Ke at least we agree.
But in her defense, I'll keep down. Can I put them?
No, man, ke bo wa ne ke tla.
But maybe let me ask.
So there are some places that I didn't frequent.
Ne? Okay, let me ask the last question.
No, not the last. The last 2 or 3.
All right, fine. Let's talk Murwe Park.
Interesting.
Okay.
Let's talk Murwe Park. For you,
Yes.
Murwe,
Yeah.
give me your experience here, Murwe Park.
Okay. More Park, December, that's where we used to hang out. Nearly, that was our entertainment area. Nearly an excursion, nearly event.
Yeah.
We would go there, go parking, and that's where we would hang out. You actually dress up to go there. Yeah, back in the day.
That was huge.
Now here's
Yeah,
another one.
yeah. And not only that, even people batla go parking.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. Okay. Now here's the last one. What comes to mind if I say Tavalejet?
I can show about what comes to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rafael.
What comes to mind?
Actually, I know where he's going. What comes to mind is the location of it. Yeah, what comes to mind in terms of activities? Well, Kilo, I'll borrow from Bobra Opa, where they used to have meetings there, political meetings, clandestine political meetings there, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So
Yeah,
then
get paid.
100% through and through.
So thank you so much. This was quite interesting. I hope I try and share really information.
Yeah.
Because I can at least all detail it out. They can email, check it.
Sure.
Because everyone on a list situation is so unique.
Yeah,
But
sure.
I'm glad we could not touch.
Okay.
So yeah, until next time, Kupalale subscribing Pellyville Podcast, Facebook, Instagram. Oh, we're on TikTok now, ne? We're on TikTok now. We're on TikTok now. We've got a very capable social media person. I'm putting you on the spot. Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot. Yeah, so please Kopale checking happy. Comment, like, tell us what you think. Tell us who you want to see featured on the podcast as well.
And subscribe.
And subscribe, yeah. So until next time,
All right. Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Tada.